Welcome to Everything Life and Real Estate. Let's get started with our hosts, Linda McKissick and Dana Gentry.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Everything Life and Real Estate. This is Dana Gentry. Linda and I are so excited to be able to offer to you today a great listen of a recent top agent panel interview training that we held with three rock star top realtors, Stephanie Keleman from the Central Kentucky area and Lori Lynn and Patrick Murphy, both from Columbus, Ohio. All three of these top agents have had extreme business growth this year in a market where, to be totally honest, a lot of people are down in their business. So this is very valuable for those of you looking to sustain and even grow in a downturn shifting market. I know you're going to get lots of value. Be sure and take notes, and we will be back next week with an episode from Linda and I, as we are going to be together this week in Charleston, South Carolina for the I Love Coaching Summit. So enjoy today. We hope you find lots of value. Have a safe and happy Halloween, and we will see you next week.
For those of you who may not know me, I'm Stephanie Keleman. I am in the Keller Williams Legacy office. I run a branch office in Nicholasville. I have been licensed 20 years on October 31st. It's my 20-year anniversary. So I survived the Great Depression of 2007 and 8. And of course, you all know we're now in a shift. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and things you can do to thrive in a shifting market. And so that's who I am.
Patrick Murphy, going on year 3 now, up in the Columbus, Dublin office with consultants. Stephanie said, just hopefully share some of the things I've come across over the last couple of years. I think I've tried every method out there. I'm quick to launch new things, but also quick to just put it away if it's not working. And but we can talk further about that. But hopefully, share some of the items I've come across to help me, kind of keep pushing the business forward.
Awesome.
Lori Lynn. I've been with the Keller Williams Consultants Office for 20 years.
Awesome.
So I've been through different markets, and we have some good ideas to share.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, guys. The first question Dana asked of all of us, and I'll be moderating and answering, are what do you feel like the main factors that have led to your business being up rather than down in a shift?
I could take a swing at that one. So again, coming in from a different perspective than Lori and Stephanie in terms of my years, this is just year 3. And, I think a big thing that's changed is just time coming in new. That first, second year, you're still trying to get on your feet and get a pattern together, get some discipline together in my day. And it really, the first 2, I felt a little bit of a struggle, but this year something turned. And I don't know if that's just your natural database, your natural sphere. It takes time. In my previous life, I would just invest more dollars to speed up things. And I quickly discovered time, you can't really speed that up when it comes to just your network and your sphere learning about you and that you're in the business and for them to actually transact. So, but this year, really the thing that made it different is just consistency. Everything I've done, heads down. It's easy to get caught up in the noise around us in the market, but there's still people selling and buying homes daily. So I try to stay intelligent about the market and what's happening out there, but also not get caught up and just nervous about it and worry, because like I said, I've still got people buying and selling daily. So, but we can go into some of those tactics in a bit here.
I think for us, it has really been staying out of the news, staying out of what's happening around the country and focusing on the positive of what is happening in our area and not getting sucked into that.
Yeah.
So, later we're going to talk about doubling down. But at the end of the day, there are people in this market that are going to buy and they are going to sell. That is going to happen. There's no question about that. And if we worry about, oh, we better not sell this, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't show them this house. If we worry about all of that, we're not going to sell anything. But if we focus on what the consumer wants and work on getting that for them and handling the objections, and again, not get sucked into what somebody else is doing.
I agree. So I'm in Bold for the 9th time, 8 times in person. The night that one of them was virtual during COVID. And you can't compare your insides to someone else's outsides. We're all at a different level. Lori Lynn and I may have been in the business the same amount of time, but I guarantee everything's totally different for us. And so one of the things that I would say that I have done that is not directly related to lead generation that we will do later, we will talk about in a minute, is you have so many wonderful tools at Keller Williams, you have to plug into them. So I've been a realtor 20 years. I'm taking my 9th Bold. I have a mastery coach. I'm also in Anna Kruger's lead conversion class because leads are harder to convert in a shift. And all those things are offered through Keller Williams. Yes, they're not all free, and it's an investment in your business. There are also lots of free education you can do. And so during times when you need a boost, I would say turn to the offerings that the greatest company in the world has that you're offered that no one else has. And so that would be one of my tips to you. I'm very education based. I keep a calendar every month, just a snapshot so I can see. And every single month I do some sort of education, and honestly, multiple educations. And even at 20 years, I'm taking notes from the other 2 panelists because I learned something from every single class I'm in. And so that's super important. So what are you guys doing to lead generate, and what are your top lead sources?
I can start with the lead generation. So one of the things that we're doing, and Patrick, something that you had mentioned is you said, you're quick to try things and quick to stop if they're not working. And I do, and I agree with that. But I also think that there's something else we should talk about. So what we do is when we see something changing, or like, let's say Twitter, like when Twitter came out, oh my God, we got to be on Twitter. We got to do this. We got to follow that squirrel. We have to do this. What we started doing is, in order to not get sucked up into something, we evaluate it and only make a decision in November of every year during our business planning. So that keeps us focused on our marketing plan, keeps us focused on what we're doing, and doesn't sway off of that. So every year our marketing plan gets better. If you look at my marketing plan 15 years ago versus today, it's dramatically different. But we haven't removed anything from that marketing plan. We continue adding to it. And we're not adding something every day. But for instance, now we are doing ornaments for our people that bought in 2023. This is the first time in 20 years we're doing it. We're doing it this year. It's already on our marketing plan for our 2024. So that is the main change that we made to our marketing plan. The only time our marketing plan has really ever deviated was during COVID, because, client appreciation events, things like that, we obviously couldn't do. But if you look back at our marketing plan, we stick with it. We have a giveaway. We give tickets to the Irish Fest, whatever that is. People can count on every year doing those same things. So I think the consistency part is hugely important. So the reason I'm saying that is because one of the things that we added this year, not part of marketing, but a new system, is we started doing Homebot. Homebot is very cheap. We started without a lender. It was $25 a month for 500 people. And we send it, you have an option to send them a market report twice a month or once a month. We send it once a month. The open rate is 80%. So adding that system is where we are getting a lot of leads from right now.
Awesome.
Because it's putting something in front of those people, and then we can see what they're looking at. Are they looking at thinking about selling? What tools do I need? Thinking about whatever it may be. So we're very in tune with the Homebot. So we're getting a lot of leads from that. We're also, about 5 years ago, we started focusing more on our sphere, our top 50 people. This year, we raised it to 100 people. So a week ago, my daughter, we bought mums, and they were on sale at Strader's for $3.99, the great big giant ones. And we bought 80 mums and just put a note in them and delivered them all around Columbus.
It's great.
So those are some things, that's where we're getting our business from giving something to somebody and not expecting something in return.
That's awesome. Patrick, what about you?
So, year 3, still trying to build up that clientele, past client to focus on. But, the 3 keys for me, in terms of lead generation would be my database. And again, coming in, it's roughly, 20% of my business year 1. Year 2, I just did some math. It was around 30% of my business. So far this year, it's like 50%. So, as time goes on, that database you keep in front of it. And yeah, Homebot is definitely one of those strategies. Reminder Media, if you guys have come across Reminder Media, they put together some great automated newsletters. That's not all about real estate. Sometimes it's just what's happening in your local environment, from art shows to music, whatever, but just things to keep my name in front of the client. They also do the magazines. If you guys have come across the magazines in the past, they're a little bit more expensive, but I've never had anything come back more positive from people that receive that magazine. It's about $4 an issue. And again, in terms of database, client events, we just had a photographer come in. There, look at that. Just had a photographer come in and spend a day at a local venue. We had some snacks and had all my clients come in for their family pictures. And again, that got a great response. Just everyone thinks about getting family portraits, but no one does it or schedules it. So we actually just brought in the photographer to do it for them. So that came across really well. But also just picking up the phone and having conversations. In the beginning, and going back to those things I try quick and get rid of, I would try to automate, put them on a drip campaign and that's it. And I quickly learned, just picking up the phone and having a conversation about real estate, I learned so much more. They mention a cousin is moving into town. They're not going to tell me that when they see a drip campaign, or just a text, because it's easier to text than to pick up the phone. I get it. I'm guilty of that. But every time I hang up that phone after a great phone call with a client, it feels great. And I need to do that more often. Sending updates to my database in terms of video, CMAs, doing video market updates, again, just general reminders I'm out there. So that's the big thing. And I can see that percentage grow of my business. Number 2 is I still do open houses. I still see value of going out, helping other agents in the brokerage, manning their house on a Saturday or Sunday. But more importantly, I've actually gotten really good friends with new builds. A lot of my clients, a lot of my buyers, they just, for some reason, just automatically discount new builds. I can't afford that. And now with rates as they are, the incentives they're putting out there, you can't beat it. And once you walk into a model home, smells perfect, decorated perfect, the music's in the background, they can't go back. And again, people have to sell. It helps with timing of a sale. So new builds, I've gotten really friendly with them. We had the Pareto Homes in Columbus last month. And in my neighborhood here, 3 Pillars has about 3 homes that they can't staff. So I can sit in those. Got a deal, came through in about 10 minutes, $800,000 buy, just from sitting at a home at the Pareto Home. So reach out to your new builders, get friendly with them, and see if there's any homes you can sit in. They get traffic coming in still to this day, and given the incentives that they can offer. So that's number 2 for me. Number 3, which I know is going to get some looks and some stares, but I came into this business buying leads because my database, when I became a realtor, it wasn't like they were ready to buy now that they know me. It was, great, but when we're ready, Patrick. So to augment my business and to get growth, I had to buy leads. And so I buy realtor.com and Zillow leads. And yes, 9 out of 10 can be junk, but if you're quick to respond and know how to nurture those, I do the math, and as soon as the math doesn't work, I'll be done with it. But the ROI is there. I give them $1. At the end of the day, I get $4 back, and I'll do that all day, like I said, until it's done. So I do buy leads, and again, I'm watching that percentage of my business drop year to year. So hopefully we'll be done with it once I have my database. But until then, I need to augment my business. I've done 42 deals this year. 20 of those were paid. My first year, probably 90% would have been paid. So I'm getting out of it. I'm getting off the drug of those guys, and I hate writing them checks, but the ROI is there, and I can't fight an ROI. So those are my 3 primary channels right now.
Listen, no one ever has to apologize for buying.
Are you disconnecting me from the Zoom? Wait, no, I'm still
No.
here.
The most important thing he said was he holds his money accountable and he knows his return.
Oh, yeah. You don't just
right.
throw it out there and like, I think it's working. You've got to measure.
Right. So the biggest portion of my business, 21 deals was from past client sphere and referrals from those sphere. I can share my screen, I think. Maybe not. I have the ability, Heather. I just can't. I don't know how to. I can send out my touch plan to everyone. We touch people about 112 times a year, so I have a pretty robust marketing touch plan. I actually teach the class that I have in a couple of market centers. So the biggest portion of that was from past clients. My second biggest source of business this year was builders, and so I had a relationship with a builder, and all builders talk to each other. And another builder said, "Does your realtor do a good job?" And he said, "Yes." And so they hired me, and they sold multiple houses, and I have a long-term relationship with them. Even though the first builder has moved on, he only builds about 3 houses a year. The second builder and I still have a relationship. And so if you can get out there like Patrick's sitting in their open houses, and if one day they decide they're going to need a realtor, who do you think that's going to be? Because Patrick's shown up and helped. And if things change with their staffing and they don't want an inside sales agent and etc. So the third source that I can briefly explain is a new source of business for me, and it's Google. And the only thing we've done on Google is to register our business page. So I'm Stephanie Keleman with the Keleman Group, and we register our business page, got it verified. We added information to it to make it a little more robust than just the basic. And then each time we get a new listing, we post a picture of that listing on your Google, because the more active you are on your Google business page, the more likely you're going to show up. The other big factor is that I have 52, which to some people may not be a lot, 52 5-star reviews. And so when people search for a realtor in my area, guess who comes up first? Because I've been working on my Google business page, posting pictures, posting updates, giving value, and then I have 52 5-star reviews. And so that costs me absolutely nothing. So that is a good nugget for all of you to go on, figure out how to register your business page, get it verified. They have to send you a postcard in the mail. You have to go through some logistics, and then work on getting your reviews. Send everyone you've ever done a deal with, all of your sphere, everyone, a request for a Google review. And the more Google reviews you have and the more active you are on that page, it can become a lead source for you. So I closed 8 deals so far off the internet, and my last 3 listings came from Google. Just a call. "Hey, I found you on Google. We've done our research on you. You seem to be a good fit." And one of those was 900,000 going live in January. So That I think is a new source. It's been really fun. I love to pick up the phone and someone say, I found you on Google. I've done my research and you seem to be a good fit. Like who would, besides a referral, that's like music to my ears. So those have been my top 3 sources this year. And so those have been all very good, majority of my business. And then I have a one-off here and there, an open house or a sign call or here or there, but those are the 3 big ones. Okay, guys, so best ways, we kind of covered this with our touches, but best ways you're touching your database most effectively. Patrick, you went over that. I do 4 client events per year. I've just added a couple of what I call micro events where I don't invite everyone, but I invite select groups of people. I have one next Thursday, and any of you can do this. I invited all the ladies, sorry, Patrick and fellas, but I invited all the ladies to a sip and shop, and I have made friends with a local boutique owner because I frequently shop there here in Nicholasville. She's closing her doors for us on a Thursday night, or she's not open regularly. I don't remember what it was, from 6 to 8. She's providing food and drinks and 20% off one item. They're all going to be in her database as they check out. I'm going to make a charcuterie board. I did not have to, 2 $50 gift baskets from her store. She's putting them together. So essentially this client event will cost me $100. I invited the ladies to come have cocktails, a charcuterie board, appetizer type food, and shop privately. So it's only the people I invited. I invited all of my past clients and all of my people in my sphere. And if they brought a guest, they get an additional entry for an additional giveaway. So if they bring a guest that I don't know, I'll get their information. They'll be entered into the giveaway. Then the store owner, also a locally owned business, gets help because I'm bringing her people to shop. So that client event will cost me $100. And it's a nice event where my people can come and shop at this cute little boutique, and it helps the local business owner. So any of you, if you're strapped for cash or you're just getting started, $100 for a client event is really cheap, as most people can tell you. My other events are, I used to dress myself as the Easter Bunny, and I stopped doing that. I hire someone now. I hire an Easter Bunny, and I hire a photographer. We take pictures. I give goodie bags. I do a pie giveaway. They come to my house and get their pie. I do not deliver their pie. They sign up. I set a table out and with a cute little tablecloth in my driveway. Everyone comes to my house, and they don't want to take a pie unless they have a referral. And so it's not required, of course, but they don't want to always be taking. So they're there to freely give you referrals a lot of the times. And then I do Santa in my driveway. This all started because I used to rent a clubhouse. Well, why not just use my house? So I live in the center of Lexington, and so it's very easy for everyone to get to me. And I do Santa, and he brings Mrs. Claus. He is the real Santa, guys. His name is Jack, but he looks so real. And this year I went on Amazon, and for, I don't know, $30, I bought a Grinch costume. So I hired my 15-year-old niece. I pay her $50. She's going to be the Grinch while Santa's there. And we have a photographer. And so my max on my client events is $1,000. And I give away goodie bags, homemade cookies at Christmas. I have a scene. You all can go back and look on my Facebook page. And my clients so appreciate that. And then in September, we just did pet and family photos at a local park. The park was free. The photographer was $300. I bought some mums and some bales of hay. And we touch for each client event, we touch them 6 times. So we send them the photos after. I send them a text reminder if they RSVP'd. I send them, like I'm getting ready to send the sip and shop. Hey, just want to make sure you saw this. It could have gone through your email. And then they get 2 emails and then the actual event. And so I used to be devastated when all my people didn't show up to my events, but guess what? It doesn't matter because I touched them 6 times during the course of inviting them to the event. And so I do have a VIP program, which I'm happy to share with anyone, but I won't take up time to do that here. We set up everyone in command on smart plans. We send everyone a monthly newsletter with real estate content, with something fun to do in the community with our new listings. Just real quick, the VIP program, I send 2 of the Reminder Media magazines that Patrick mentioned. We do 2 pop buys. And so when I share my marketing plan with you all, Heather will help me with that, I'm sure, because she has the list. I'll send that to you with the touches. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But that's what I do in terms of lead generation. What I will tell you is it is time to double what you've been doing, because in a shift, in order to keep your business steady or increase, you have to double what you're doing. And so if you've been calling 5 people a day, you best start calling 10. Also, it's harder for me. I'll admit it. My conversion rate's not as high as it was before. And so you have to know your scripts and you have to practice. I had script practice at 8 o'clock this morning. I've been in the business 20 years. You are never too young or too long in the business to practice your scripts, because you're going to need to hone in on your skills to be able to convert people when the market conditions are not perfect. And they're not perfect. People do still buy and sell. And so you have to double down. I talked about this at my legacy office, and I'm probably going to ruffle some feathers, but people act like they're really busy, including myself. But if you do an open house on Thursday from 5 to 7, and you do one Saturday from 3 to 5 or 1 to 3, and you do one on Sunday from 1 to 3 and one from 3:30 to 5:30, that is 8 hours of your 40-hour work week. And you can pick up a lot of buyers at 4 open houses. I don't know about your market, but one of our agents with another brokerage had a Thursday night open house with 50 sets of people through. And so you're missing the boat if you don't do 4 open houses a week. If you're not busy, get out there, knock on the doors of the neighbors, tell them you're doing an open house, ask them who they want to live next to, do the open house. People are walking through the door coming to you. If no one comes, that's fine. You still got your name out there on. You can do a cheap command ad through Facebook. You're getting your name out there. Your signs are all over the neighborhood. And so that is 8 hours of your 40-hour work week that you may or may not have 20, 30, 40 people in to see you. And they're actively coming to you. Are some of them looky-loos? Sure. But the biggest thing at open houses is they're seeing what their competition is. Maybe they're thinking about selling. And so don't discount that the people walking through your open house store could be a listing, not just a buyer. That's all I have to say about that. Okay.
Hey, one open house advice. I see this all the time on our internal Facebook page. I'll see agents just put out there, I'm available this weekend. Don't do it. Just call. Go through our office listings and call that agent, because they're not going to just go through there and call you randomly. Be aggressive. Call the agent. Can I host an open house on a Thursday night? Whatever. So,
right. No one has ever asked me to hold an open house on a Thursday on my listings. Ever. Ever. Yeah, that's an easy one. I have a couple of people, they call me every single week and they say, do you have an open house for me? And I try to place them every single week. Perfect. I do them also. And when I have 4 or 5 listings, obviously I can't be 4 or 5 places. So you're so right, Patrick. Choose 3 or 4 and start going down the list and ask. Tell them what value you're going to add. If I have a listing, I want to know when you're putting the signs out that you're going to give me feedback as people come through, that you're going to be sure to leave the seller a nice note that thank you for letting me hold your house open. It's beautiful. You've got to do all the things. I run all the ads for the people. Everybody's different, but I do expect you to put your signs out and to work, because I'm giving you the leads from the open house. So there is that opportunity out there, because your offices all have tons of listings. And some agents don't want to do open houses. So take advantage of that in this market. It can really help you build your business. So we talked a little about doubling down. Lori Lynn or Patrick, do you have anything else to say about how you're doubling down?
I'll go in, and you actually touched on this, Stephanie. I'm picking up the phone twice as much as I used to. So I am going through my database. I'm being more aggressive around doing proactive CMAs. So Homebot, another benefit of that, you do get an email weekly showing your most active, and you may have mentioned that already, but you get your most active folks using Homebot that week. So just magically, you just happen to call them and you look like a magician, and you produce a CMA. So I've been doing that more frequently, and yeah, because we tend, when things are going good, you tend to just kind of put those things off to the side, and it's doing those things you don't want to do that is going to bring the most value. And so yeah, picking up the phone, sending those CMAs, I've been doing that a lot more this year now. So.
And I also find too, back to the attitude, and when things are tougher, it's when we need to really look at who else needs help, who needs assistance. And just like you said, with agents in the office, if they call us directly, they've got a better chance of us giving them an open house than just popping something online. So anybody that's in here that does that, most of the times I have people that call me from other agencies that will ask if they can do one of our open houses. So especially, if it's a house that's in the area that they're at. So I know that, I would say maybe once a month, twice a month, somebody calls me, and for as many listings as we have, you think we would get calls way more often about doing open houses, but we don't. So, but I do think that that's hugely important. And I know I keep harping on this attitude thing, but if somebody's excited to do an open house and they get there and they're ready, it's a lot different than somebody feeling forced, like, oh God, I gotta go do this
my
open
Saturday
house. Let me just throw up a sign. Who wants to, like, by the time you get there, no, you're in a bad mood. The people coming in can tell you're in a bad mood. So if you're not going to have the right attitude, don't even do it. Right. And, Stephanie, you're exactly right. Because when people come in that open house, that's like a car salesman. Like, people buying cars don't call the dealer. They show up at the dealership. So people that are showing up at an open house, yeah, they might have a realtor, but maybe they haven't talked to the realtor in 3 months. Maybe their realtor forgot that they're still trying to buy a house. So I think another thing too, doubling down, is sending out those just listed and just sold postcards. That's something that can get away from us when the market is strong. Think about the mail that we get now. I don't get anything worth a darn in my mailbox anymore. I don't even know the last time that I got something from a real estate agent advertising something. And go through a neighborhood and look at the people that have been there for more than 20 years. I would start making a list and start sending them information. Another thing that we do is we handwrite a lot. We'll print a letter, but we'll handwrite the envelope.
To your point too there, I try to think of things, because I remember when I was new, you don't have a ton of money for marketing and advertising. I buy birthday cards from Amazon in bulk. I buy purchase anniversary cards. I used to buy just blank cards at Target, like they were different colors in a pack. There's like 300 of them for $12 or something, and they're matching envelopes. And I send $1 scratch off to everyone for their birthday and their kid's birthday and their purchase anniversary. I send Halloween cards to the kids, Thanksgiving cards to the kids, Valentine's Day cards to the kids, Easter cards to the kids. Now, I don't have kids, but I can look at Heather Brotman and tell you the way to Heather's heart is to be good to her kid. Okay. So if growing up, if Heather wasn't a realtor, if a realtor sent Peyton a birthday card and a Halloween card and a Easter card, Heather's not going to use another realtor. And so I love all my clients' kids, and I do Easter Bunny and all that stuff for them, but very low cost. You can get bulk cards and get $1 scratch off and mail those, and people love them. And when they win $1 on their $1 scratch off, they post it on Facebook and say, does your realtor send you birthday cards with lottery tickets? Or thank you for the birthday card. The lottery ticket wasn't a winner this time, maybe next time. And so that's a super low cost. So you can host open houses at almost no cost. Everybody you pick up the phone and talk to, as soon as you hang up, you can write them a handwritten note and send it in the mail. It means a lot to people to get a handwritten note. Hey, thanks for taking my call. I'm so happy that you have that vacation planned. Here's my card. If you think of anyone who I could help, I'm always here. And you've just talked to them. So it's not as if you're being invasive. You're writing them a note saying, thank you for taking my call. It doesn't have to be something elaborate. You don't have to buy some fancy card. The Dollar Tree has thank you cards. or blank cards that are super cheap for a whole pack of them. They're like $2 or $1.25 or however much stuff costs at the Dollar Tree now. But I have a whole stash, so I haven't had to go buy any lately. Or buy an assortment of cards so that when you see on Facebook someone got married or had a baby, we have a whole box full of cards over there, and I send cards every day for something. I just mailed out hundreds of Halloween cards and birthday cards for the last 2 weeks of October, or the last week and a half of October. And so those are all things you can do that will build that relationship and bond with your people like no money you could spend ever will. And so I know if your business is down and you don't have a lot of money, we're talking about very small amounts of money in order to be in connection with people. Kendra, you call and say, when is your birthday? And then you enter it into your database, or you look on Facebook. I say people who don't have their birthdays on Facebook are terrorists, because most people have their birthday on Facebook, right? And so you can get them there, and then start a system. When we go to closing, I have a sheet that says his sale, her sale, his birthday, her birthday, and at the bottom it's kids' names and birthdays. And so at closing, when I go to closing, I say, hey, while the buyer's signing or while the seller's signing, depending on what side you're on, would you mind to share your birthday with me? I send birthday cards. And what about your kids? When are their birthdays? I also send cards to kids as well. Nobody's ever going to say, no, I don't want you to send me a birthday card. I'm not giving you my birthday. And I always joke and I say, oh, I just need the month and day. I don't need the year. Because then it's no pressure. I don't care how old you are. I do ask the kids' age so that I know when they're 17 not to send them a cute little teddy bear card. But people are not ever going to tell you, no, please don't send me a birthday card.
So 3 little cheap things that I do to kind of stack on top of that. One is something called Jot Form. If I do not get an opportunity to get that information, kids' names or, how do you like your coffee, whatever, Jot Form, it's free up to a certain number of questions, I believe, or responses, but it's a simple survey you can send people. How do you like your Starbucks, or what's your favorite snack, or just so you can build that database about that person. So if you're doing it post a closing or something like that, that's an easy way to do it. The second thing I do is after closing, I take the settlement statement, take a copy and put it in the envelope. So tax time next year, they get it from me. They may not need it, but again, it's just that little touch that makes you stand out. And then someone from our office, Lori, got this to me about a month ago. It was a month, I kind of write in warranties for all my buyers. And a month before that warranty's up, just give them a call. Say, hey, you've probably got a stack of things you've been pushing off to get fixed. Well, that warranty's about to expire if you don't renew it. Now's a great time to get, and they're 99% of the time like, you know what, I've been stalling on getting that fixed. Thanks for the reminder. So again, it's just 3 things you can do that just keeps your name just kind of whispering in their ear all year. So those are 3 quick ones I've been deploying.
That's awesome. Lori, do you have anything else you want to talk about with like inexpensive, good forms of lead gen that people can do to help their business?
Well, I think social media is a big thing. Let me pull up my marketing calendar here real quick. All right. So we use social media a lot, and we use it for easy things. We do, let's see, we do giveaways. So the giveaways, like say we do a Buckeye jersey. Comment your favorite Buckeye memory. And then in Google, there's a way that you can randomly pick somebody. And then we post who won it. Tickets, the Irish Fest tickets is another one. We email, what's your home worth? That's an email that we send. Even though we have Homebot, we still send that. We are client appreciation, and of course we have our vendors for that. We do a teacher supply program. So that's a couple $100. We do Memorial Day flags, and every year we add on to those. And now I pay the Boy Scouts to do it. So the Boy Scouts are earning service hours, and we are up to almost 1,000 nice flags, like the good size, and we put them at everybody's mailbox. And this year we've gotten to Tullymore, which is a main street where we live. And so it's nice seeing all those flags up and down Tullymore. And I'll go past somebody's house and I'll look, and they've got like the last 3 years flags stuck in the ground up by their house.
Love it.
So I think it's good that the community sees what you do. Calendars. We have been doing calendars for 20 years. The first time I did a calendar, I ripped off the top and stuck my business card on. I mean, and every year it gets a little bit better and a little bit more. But I'll have every year, I always have at least somebody call me that I have no idea who they are. And they'll say, I've been looking at your face on my refrigerator for the last 10 years. Come and list my house.
Yep.
And it also gives you validity in your area. So if you're marketing a certain area, you start to create those raving fans. Like a neighborhood that I used to live in, I mean, I'll have somebody call me and they're like, oh my God, like 3 people in the neighborhood have told me to call you and you don't even live here anymore. But it's because I continually support that neighborhood. If I see that one of the kids, and this is another big thing we do, back to social media, we watch on social media. And if somebody has a fundraiser, whatever somebody's doing, $20, $50, it's not that much, but everybody sees what we're doing. They see, oh, the Lori Lynn group did this. Oh, the Lori Lynn group did that. So I like what you're talking about, Stephanie. It doesn't have to be big. In the spring, my daughter sends seeds out. Thank you for helping my business grow. The lottery tickets, we send out lottery tickets. I mean, all year long, we're working on stuff and sending things to people. And it makes them feel special too, because again, in today's age and the way things are, there's not that personal touch anymore. And a book that our team has been reading. So anybody that's on here that's looking for the next book to read, I will tell you, I would get on Amazon as fast as you can and order The Go-Giver. It is an absolutely, I've got it right here. I don't even know if I can. The Go-Giver. This book is absolutely incredible because it talks about giving value to somebody. The 50-50. We talk, Keller Williams, win, do the right thing. I mean, all of those things. But I think sometimes people get so wrapped up in, well, I gave them a flag, so I should be the realtor because I gave them a flag. That is not the way that it is. You have to support people no matter where they are in life, because you never know when or how that is going to come back to you. But the more goodwill that you put out, the more goodwill that you will come back. You might just not notice at that moment, that minute.
That is absolutely true.
And think about this, everybody who's on here listening, think about the fact that how many realtors do you know that are no longer in the business? They got in the business. The first thing they did was sold their mom's house, their cousin's house, their brother's house. Well, now what do? So year 2 came by, they're like, oh, dang, I had to pay taxes on that money. And they did no marketing. They didn't do any education. They didn't do any training. You guys, those people that did those 1 and 2 deals, their realtors long gone. So they are going to be looking for somebody after that. So like our calendars, I'm sure I lost deals from people that, oh, my brother's a realtor. But you know what? Staying consistent and saying, remember, your brother left, but I'm still here.
That's right. I was going to show you all my calendar. Yes, I'm a little crazy, but this is my bold calendar you can buy. And this is my month at a snapshot, and I color code it. And the red are classes, and the green are listing appointments or photos for listings. So I mean, you have to know where you spend your money and where you spend your time and hold it accountable. And so this helps me if I have a month where I'm like, well, I did a lot of personal stuff, but I didn't get many listings, then I know what my focus the next month needs to be. So it just helps me see everything. And it's like, oh, I haven't taken any classes, or what classes could I seek out? And when Dana sends out the one team calendar every month at the beginning, then I add the classes that I think I need the most help with. And then they're on my calendar. So I know I go and I don't double book myself. So just get around successful people, come to the classes, and implement the things that you can afford to implement, and do the work, do the open houses, make the phone calls. You already pay for your cell phone. It doesn't cost you anything to call people on it. So I mean, there's so much you can do, and it's easy to get in a slump, and I've been there, and I was there last year. It was a terrible year for me. And we've worked our tails off implementing systems this year that have helped us have our best year ever. And so, any questions or any final comments from anyone? I did send Heather my touch plan. So she will send that to everyone. If you have any questions, of course, you can call me about that. So does anyone want to unmute, ask us any questions, or share any thoughts or any struggles you're having? Is there anything we can help you with today?
I have a question. This is Jennifer in Dublin, and it's kind of to Patrick, and I put it in the chat. Patrick, you said you lost your Google reviews at
Yeah.
one point, and you can't get anyone to call you back. So
well, there's really no one that picks up the phone there, right? So yeah, good point, Jennifer. I'll just put that asterisk out there that there was something happened with Google with my email there that I was using for that Google business page, that it just disappeared one day, and all those reviews.
Oh,
so
wow.
Before you count on Google to be that kind of that hub, I use something, and unfortunately, it's a paid service, but Google is free, so sometimes you get what you pay for. It's called Rate My Agent, and it's a superior system, and it's housing all those reviews. It can feed my Google business page with reviews, but it's not the hub. That's gone. I've just lost a lot of credibility. So thanks for bringing that up, Jennifer.
Mm-hmm. No, it scares me because you're one of the smartest IT people that I know that's not in IT. So if it happened to you, where can it happen? So do you like Rate My Agent that you've
love it?
Now that
it creates it sends out a social media posts. It grabs reviews randomly. The visuals are great. I've been super happy with it. So
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I think just even this discussion, I mean, the fact, like Stephanie, when you're talking about like Santa in the driveway, I mean, that's something so easy that we could do. So when when you talk about education and filling up your calendar with what's on one team, it is important, because now look at this tip that might cost us $300 or $400, really could be something that we can implement in our marketing calendar. And then, now see, I'm much older. So, now my kids have kids, and a lot of my friends, our kids are having kids. So it might not be my friend that's coming, but they're going to send their kids and their grandkids.
Right. And then their friends are going to buy houses, and they're going to use you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not to be a super cheerleader, and I am an optimist by nature, but I mean, guys, everyone on the call, think about this. Like, everything you're hearing or reading, like 2023 was a slow year for real estate, like for years. I think it's going to hit 4 million in sales, which is like a super decade low, whatever. So just think, if you guys can weather this and we start going into next year and rates start to creep down a little bit, it's going to get nuts. So if you're prepped and you get these good foundational things in place, get ready, because when it turns next year, or hopefully 2024, 2025, it's going to get crazy, and you're going to be well prepared. So I'm pumped. I mean, obviously 23 has been challenging, but all the systems we're putting in place and the discipline, it's going to show next year. So I'm excited. So.
Well, Gary always says the market share you take in a shift, you'll never lose.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So get out there. We don't want anyone on this call to be one of the people that leaves the industry. And so again, we're here to help you, and everyone.
Call us. We
Yeah,
are more
everyone
than
in the
happy to
market
help.
center's there to help you. So
Yep.
you have a great leadership team. You have you're surrounded by amazing people. I just can't say enough like how important classes are. Like there should be 200 people on this Zoom and there's 22. And so don't discount the education that you're getting at the one team. It's amazing. I've been other places. And so you want to take advantage of what you have.
Be sure to subscribe for more business strategies and tactics to inspire you to live an abundant real estate life. Don't forget to rate and review so we can bring you the best content. Find this and other valuable information at everythinglifeandrealestate.com.